Good morning, Paul. And yesterday we discussed about test case test case plan. Okay, how to write the test case planning. So I hope the screen is visible. So today we will discuss on how we can write the effective test cases for the software testing. Okay. So the writing the test case is very important. Okay. Okay. I hope it is clearly visible. Okay. So writing the test case. Test case is very important for the testing the application. So here we discuss why the writing and tracking the test case is important. What is test design specification, test case specification, and test procedure. Okay. Yes, a crash is failure. Okay. I think yesterday night, I think you people are faced a failure in the WhatsApp. Am I right? I think all people they faced a problem with the WhatsApp, Facebook application and all. So that is called as a crash. Okay, a crash is a failure. So to like to overcome with such application, to overcome with the failures, okay, we have to go for the testing. Testing is very important. Okay. So actually there is some scenarios there that you can just later you can go through that. Okay. So these are very important: test case design specification, test design, test case specification, and test procedure. So these are all the outcomes are the documents. Outcomes are the documents because these are the deliverables, output deliverables. We have to talk in terms of the output. So why this writing and tracking the test case is important? Okay. This is important for the like the organization as the test cases may have been created by the several testers. Okay, there are many testers are involved while writing the test cases. There are several people are involved for testing the for writing the test cases. For writing the test cases. Okay, so over the course of several months or the years. So proper planning will organize them so that all the testers and other project team members they can review and use them effectively. Okay, because there are many people are involved and it takes time also. Okay, and to like the team members they can review, they can just review those test cases. They can review the test cases and use those test cases for the planning for the testing. Use the test cases effectively. Okay. So the team members they will review. They will review the whatever the test cases are written by the team members. So that is very important. Okay. Even we can rather write the thousands of test cases. Okay. But the review is also very important and use them the test cases effectively. That is also very important. Then repeatability. Like sometimes what happens, the test cases also repeats. Run the same test several times to look for new bugs and to make sure that old ones have been fixed. And sometimes the test cases are same test cases repeatedly we are executing. We are running the same test cases to because we won't find the new bugs. Okay. we are using the same test case. Okay, so that's why we have to go for the different approaches, different test cases. Okay, if we run the same test case, then we cannot find the new bugs. It is difficult. So हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा? We have to use the various different test cases so that we can find the new bugs. So that's why this tracking the test case is also very important. अभी आपने same test case आपने execute किया तो क्या होता है? You won't get the exact result. Like in the machine learning algorithm, you have to use the different algorithms, okay, to improve the performance. If you use the same algorithm, you won't get the same result. Okay, to get a better performance, you have to change the algorithm. Because as per the data set, you have to choose the algorithm, and to get a better performance, you have to make some modification. Then tracking. How many test cases did you plan to run? Okay. So there are suppose 500 test cases are there, and how many the test cases you are planned by reviewing those plans. Suppose 400 test cases you are planned. So tracking is also very important. So how many did you run on the last software release? How many passed and how many failed? Okay, and were any test cases skipped? So these are all tracking of all these are very important. Okay, so how many test cases are written? Suppose 500 test cases are written. So out of 500, there are 450 test cases are run. Means they are used for 50 test cases, and 50 test cases are skipped. Like maybe the team members they found maybe these test cases are repeatable. They are repeatedly they mean same type. Okay, so they may be skipped, and out of these 450, around 380 are pass. The test cases are pass, and how many remaining? 20 and 70. 70 are fail. So likewise, you need to track the test cases. Okay, then proof of testing. So in a few high-risk industries, the software test team must prove that it indeed run the test that is planned to run. Okay, like you have to give proof, like whether have you done the testing of as per the plan. You are planned for the to run 500 test cases. So you have to give proof of testing. So have you run all the 500 test cases? So the proof of testing is very important because sometimes they ask because you are including in the billing charges, no, all these tasks. Okay, so in the billing and all you are adding all these tasks. So definitely you have to maintain a proof of the testing, like how many people are involved. Okay, what type of testing they are done. So that is all important. So the goal of test case planning, okay, ad hoc testing means there is no test case planning. See, the goal of the test case planning means you have to define the objective. Okay, you have to define the objective. You have to make a plan. Okay, so as here you can see the overview. For the test plan, you have to, based upon that, you have to design the specification. So based upon the test design specification, you have to write the test case specification. Then test procedure, like how you proceed for the testing procedure. Procedure means how you proceed for the testing. So planning is very important. Without planning, you cannot do the testing. Okay, means if you do the with test planning, then you can complete your task. You can complete your task within time, within budget, within schedule, within cost. Okay, with a proper managing the resources. So that's why planning is very important. Okay, and the test plan like overview, like it is written in a very high level, the abstract level, specify the strategy, schedule, risk, as all in the last class we discussed about that. What strategy you are using for the testing, the schedule, how many like weeks required for the testing, and the risks and how you can handle those risks. If there is some risks are there, risk mitigation, how you handle those risks. Okay, it breaks out the software into specific feature like functional testing, non-functional testing. Okay, based upon your priority, you are planning for functional testing means the features. You are testing the features, functional testing, non-functional testing. Okay, so you are planning for the functional testing, non-functional testing, like as per your budget. You are just making a plan. Okay, so it breaks the software into the specific feature and testable items and assigns them to the individual testers. Okay, so that all includes in the test plan. Like you are assigning some particular features, for example, for a banking site or a banking website, for specific feature, like for example, login, logout functionality, login, logout, these particular functionality you are assigning to some XYZ person. Okay, for payment transfer module that you are assigning to some person. Okay, so you are dividing and you are assigning the work to the individual, but it does not specify exactly how those features will be tested. So you have to write a proper overview. Okay, what are the test cases and all. Okay, so these are all we covered in the yesterday. Okay, test design specification, identifier, features to be tested. Means you need to uniquely identify what are the main functionalities, what are the features to be tested as per your based upon your project, based upon your cost, based upon your budget, based upon your resource availability. You have to make a plan. Okay, a description, these features to be tested were a description of the software feature that covered by the test design. For example, the addition function of a calculator, the font size selection, display in the WordPad and all. Okay, the description of the software feature that is covered in the test design specification. Like here, for addition function in the calculator, the font size selection, display in the WordPad. Okay, normally in the e-commerce site, as for any product, okay, there should be a proper the description of the product details and all. Okay, so here this particular the description that shows the overall. Okay, here with this particular content we can understand like it is from 3rd October to 10th October. There is some like big billion days, some event is going on, like they are selling with discounts. Okay, with this particular description. Okay, so the description of the software features that covered in the design specification, identify the features that may be indirectly tested, side effects of testing, list the features that won't be tested. You have to list what are the features that you are not testing. This design specification is very important, test design, because as for any project, the design part is very important. Similar to that, your testing is also depend upon the design specification. More detailed approach that used to test the features than the test plan. Describe the techniques that are you are used. Okay, all the techniques and all, like the various techniques are there: black box testing, white box testing, unit testing, integration. Okay, performance, load, volume, spike, smoke. Okay, and test case design. Here you have to identify, like mention the test case identification, like the selected test cases. As you know, in the equivalence class partition, like you are dividing your input. For example, 1 to 99, you are dividing into some 1 to 18, 40. You are dividing into age. Suppose if you consider the age 1 to 18, this is one class. 18 to 14 is another class. Okay, equivalence class partitioning. Okay, instead of testing 99 inputs, you are just dividing into a class. That means this is for the input, test case input. So as you, these are all content we already discussed. Just I'm revising as per some important definitions and all. As per the IEEE standard state that the test case specification, it specifies the documents the actual values used for the input along with the anticipated outputs. Means here we are like you the actual input where we are mentioning some actual input in the document. Okay, actual input, actual values that are used for the input along with the anticipated means the output. For particular input, what is the output? A test case also identifies any constraints on the test procedure resulting from the use of that specific test case. Okay, so this is a definition of the test case. Test case means here we are specifying the actual value that you are using for the testing. And like for example, here if we provide two numbers, then your output should be like 4. Means this is just an example. Like you are mentioning the actual input and output. The input specification, output specification, the environmental needs. These are all we know. We already covered like in the test case template. Test case template. You are doing in your and here all the test cases are having unique ID. A unique ID. A unique ID is there for all the test cases. Okay, test case, the description, input and expected output. Okay, that in the tutorial assignments we have discussed about this tutorial assignments. Okay, in tutorial assignments. Okay, your test case scenario, first assignment was there. Then test case based upon the scenario you are writing the test cases. Okay, So to write these test cases, you are using a particular template that are already uploaded in your Google Classroom. So test case, test procedure. Procedure means the steps required to operate the system. Steps. Okay, they will write steps. For example, to log in the Google, to log in your Gmail, you need to write a step like go to the www.google.com, or before that open the browser, and then direct to URL, type this. Then step 3, log into, like click on the sign in button. Click on sign in button means you are writing some steps. That is a test procedure. How you are going to test. Okay, step by step details. I think that is also there in the your that test case template document. Okay. Okay. So these are all about the test case specification, test case planning. Okay. So in the next class, we'll discuss about some other concepts that are related to the test case specification and test case document, test plan. So your this sixth chapter, the fifth chapter, it is completely it is based upon the how you can make a plan for the testing, how you can